video on another video on pasta alla Gricia. So I have some ham, well, bacon stock left over. So I kind of thought, can we use the ham stock to cook the pasta in and form the sauce? Obviously, it'll work without it to be soft. So I have just heated up the ham stock. It was left over from, what did I do? I did some pea and ham soup with some leftover peas. So I had this bacon stock, ham stock, left over. And I don't want to waste it. I've used what I was going to use it for, and so I kind of thought, I'm cooking myself some dinner, so I will use any excuse for pasta actually. I'll use the ham stock to cook the pasta, and it will infuse more flavour into the sorry, I'm doing other things. It will infuse more flavour into the pasta and the sauce. So I've forgotten how much there is. There's like 300 grams worth of pasta. I've bolted it up really. It'll start melting soon. So there was 300 grams of pasta, about 100 grams worth of guanciale. I need to use the guanciale up as well. And then we've got some cheap, well, cooking Italian hard cheese. It's all it's really suitable for. So I have softened the pasta in the warm stock, but not softened it enough. So it'll start melting soon. And the idea is that we cook the pasta in a little amount of water, and then lots of the starch comes out of the pasta, and that's what forms the sauce. There's some Italian, this is like cacio or cacio that you kind of, and carbonara, that you form the sauce in the pan, and pasta alla Gricia, and you form the sauce in the pan, and it's quite a tricky thing to do because you use a little bit of the pasta water. But if you're cooking pasta at home, the pasta water doesn't really get that saturated with lots of the starch from the pasta, and it doesn't kind of form the sauce kind of quite that easily. So I kind of change the method of the way you do it, and I cook it more like a risotto. So by the time the pasta's cooked, the water that you're going to cook it in has evaporated, and you've collected lots of starch from the pasta as it's leached out into the stock, and then it forms a sauce a lot easier. But you'll kind of see. So it's just a case of, I better get some water on as well, just in case. So you add a little bit of stock to start it off with, and then you keep topping up with a little bit of water, and then hopefully by the time all the water's evaporated, your pasta is nice and al dente and ready for just adding there we go, adding the tongs. It is have some tongs. They never will want them to be. There we go, right in front of me. So by the time the whole liquid has evaporated, the pasta is nice and al dente, and then you just need to throw in the Parmesan cheese, and then the pecorino, or cheap Italian hard cheese from the supermarket. So as you will see already, that the water is cloudy, and that is the starch coming out of the pasta, which is what we want. So it's kind of you're making like a deconstructed cheese sauce really. You're using so if you were to make a cheese sauce, it would be milk, it would be flour, it would be butter, and it would be cheese in at the end. So you'd make a basic white sauce, and then you'd add cheese. So, but in this case, we're using the pasta water has the liquid, which would be the milk, and then we're using the starch from the pasta, that's the flour element, and then we're using the cheese as the cheese. So it's a bit of a deconstructed pasta sauce. Oh yeah, and there's the fat, which would butter in a white sauce, is the actual fat that we get from the cooked guanciale, which is very fatty, and it's the pig's cheek. Sorry, I'm just washing up as well. I don't know why, but my house always seems to have lots of washing up. It's the only thing that I seem to really do. There always seems to be a pile of washing up and a pile of drying up, which is quite infuriating, really. But there again, I make lots of food videos and I'm always fapping in the kitchen, so it's inevitable that there will always be some washing up to do. So the only way to not do washing is to buy ready meals, and then all we wash up is a fork. Guess I'd eat it out the container rather than put it on a plate. Right, so I've got my loads in there because they're going to start burning my hands. So it's thickening up already. Let's get a spoon. So as you can see already, the pasta water is thickening up, which is the starch and the fat from the bacon, guanciale, thickening up and reducing, and that's what's thickening up. And so we're kind of already making a sauce already. So in essence, we don't really need to add the cheese, but the cheese is just going to be a really nice kind of flavour. So we'll just keep an eye on that, and we'll add a bit more water in a bit. If we don't want it, we want to. It's just that timing of the pasta being cooked and the water being evaporated. But we still want a little bit of cooking water in there because we want to be able to form the sauce. It's not just going to be like pure melted cheese. So move it around. More starch is going to come out of the pasta. But as you can see, it's already kind of forming the sauce and it's thickening up the sauce. But we want some more water in that because there's no way the pasta's going to be ready just yet. So about that much, and then let that cook and evaporate off. Do a bit more washing up. I really should have got myself a dishwasher, but then the dishwasher will always be full, because I wouldn't want to put the dishwasher on unless it was full, and then I wouldn't have enough cutlery or plates or things. They'd always be waiting to be washed in the dishwasher. So it's just best to wash by hands, or get myself an assistant. Don't need. And that can wash it as well. So, I mean, this is a cardinal sin of cooking pasta. This is not how you cook pasta at all. I apologise. I realise I'll go to Italian hell. Just give it a taste. Tastes nice though. Tastes nice already. I think the ham sauce is going to make it absolutely delicious. A bit more water than that. So, how many bacon stock was a little bit salty as well. So we just need to watch about adding extra salt to it. We probably won't need to. We're going to put plenty of cheese in. So there will be, how much cheese are we going to put in? I'll just weigh this cheese. We're going to put plenty of cheese in. So the cheese is quite salty. We'll just guess with the cling film as well. Oh, we want more than that. 80 grams there, we want about 100 and a bit. Might as well use it all. Give it a mix around. As you can see, it's almost already forming the sauce in the bottom, so it's quite thick already. So the cheese will just thicken that up and form a nice glossy sauce. But it doesn't want to be too thick. It doesn't want to be like a cheese sauce kind of thickness. It just wants to be thick enough to coat the pasta and not be claggy. We don't like claggy sauces. As much cheese off that rind as possible. Although this cheese has been open for a couple of weeks, so hopefully it will form the sauce. You don't want to see the cheese to be too dry, otherwise it has trouble melting. I've got no use for that rind, so that can get thrown away. That can get thrown away. It's feeling like it's ready. Let's give it another taste. Excuse fingers. Nearly there. Nearly there. So this is where we kind of need to be careful about adding extra water, because it just needs to cook slightly bit more. Put some pepper in now. Pepper changes when you cook it, so the flavour of pepper, if you were to just taste it, put some on your hand, grind it onto your hand and taste it, is different to the taste of pepper that's been heated. So when you add the pepper, it's kind of important in cooking. If you add it at the start of cooking, you'll find that it's not as peppery. Right, let's turn that heat off. Right. Is there enough liquid in there? I think there will be. Right. So, how much liquid is in there? I want a little bit more liquid, but we'll add the cheese first and then we'll put a little bit of extra water in. That's loads of cheese. Heat's off. We turn it off before we add the cheese, otherwise there is a danger that the cheese will become stringy, which is not what we want at all. I suppose there's about 110 grams of cheese, something like that. There we go. It's forming a nice sauce. Coating the pasta. There we go. Move it around just a little bit more, so we'll evaporate off some of that liquid. We've got a bowl. Oh no, we're going to use that bowl, aren't we? We're going to use the bowl we've got the bacon in. So it's not just quite ready. However, well, it's not just quite ready to eat, but the pasta will carry on cooking and absorbing some of that liquid and evaporate off. So by the time I've added this, a bit of taste first. It needs a little bit of salt. Not much at all. Right, mix it around. Oh, you add the bacon after the cheese as well. Otherwise, what happens is the cheese just wants to clump up and stick to the bacon. There we go. Then, no fancy serving, straight into the bowl. So you'll be able to see the sauce there. So I'll wash that spoon. So as you can see, that sauce has got that consistency. So just thick enough to coat the pasta like that, which is perfect. That bacon stock makes a difference. So I want all of that at the bottom there. Don't want to waste any of that lovely cheesy saucy. There we go. Pasta alla Gricia, made with leftover ham stock. Delicious. Even nicer than the original. I'll take a picture. I'm going to enjoy that.